Hello Capricorn, Elsie here to do your reading. It is for the week ahead. Cappies, how are you? I hope you are well. Thanks so much for showing up here. I've got one Oracle deck we're going to use this week to get some overall feels for the week ahead. And then we're going to throw some tarot on it, find out what's going on. Thank you again for clicking here. And if you've not been here before, welcome. We have a pretty big Capricorn crew here. And if you'd like to stay, there's a subscription button down in the bottom right-hand corner of this little square where I live. If you've been here before and you keep coming back, thank you for doing that. We have the wreath. It says sorrow over loss. We'll have to find out what that is. Tell me more about Capricorn. At the end of this video, Capricorn, I'm going to tell you how to find the extended. I'm also going to talk about private reads if you're interested in that. What else do we have here? The wishbone. It says a wish is granted. Okay, so this sort of gives me death card vibes here because nothing ever ends unless something is ready to begin. So it's the only time anything ever ends, my friends, is when something else is going to begin. So a wish is granted here. And then we have the ram. It says a stubborn, aggressive person. And so that could be you or somebody else. We'll talk about that. But the ram is representative of Aries. And that being said, we have a full moon in Aries coming up on the 4th, which is tomorrow. I'm reading this late on the night on the 3rd, so you might see this by the 4th. But the ram is definitely Aries. We've got grapes. It says time to go out and have fun. We've got the flag. It says, do not be tempted to lower your standards. Well, isn't that interesting that those came out together? Be careful. So time to go out, have a little bit of vino, have some fun with your friends, but please don't lower your standards here. Says the rabbit, too much concern with sexual matters. I'm telling you, I can't even with tarot some days. I cannot. So be careful. I'm going to say be careful because it feels like there's a lot of fun to be had, but I think that the liquor will be flowing. So you know where that can lead, right? So just be careful with all of that. Let's talk about tarot. Tell me about Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter. We'll talk about that a little bit later and what your risks are or who we might be talking about. Tell me about the wreath. It says sorrow over a loss. Tell me about this. Gosh, my hands aren't really working yet. I've been on the sofa for 3 days, so my hands aren't really working just yet. Tell me about Capricorn on the sofa because I haven't really been feeling great, but feeling better today. Tell me about sorrow over loss. Tell me about this, sorrow over loss. We've got the Queen of Wands. So it could be sorrow over a loss of something that you really wanted, because the Queen of Wands is always going after what she wants. The Queen of Wands is someone who's resilient. You could have been hurt in a situation that required resiliency. It could be the loss of the Queen of Wands. It could be that maybe you were dating the Queen of Wands, feminine or masculine. This person can tend to be resilient, but not necessarily staying in one place. Tell me about the wishbone, please. A wish has been granted. Tell me about the wish being granted. We've got the Page of Wands. Oh, interesting. Isn't that interesting? Because it feels like something ended with the Queen of Wands because there's a new interest coming in. It feels like the Page of Wands is like there's a spark with somebody else. Tell me about the ram, please. Oh, we got a lot of red here. I'm just saying it could be an Aries. Gotta look at the ram here. Tell me about this. We've got the Fool, who is also Aries. I'm just going to say, I'm going to put down a couple cards here. We're going to look at some energy for the rest of the month here. What else can you expect for the rest of the month here, Capricorn? We've got the Justice card. Something coming into balance, harmonious. Maybe the truth of something or someone doing the right thing. And we've got the Seven of Pentacles. It could be in the workplace. It could be something that you've been waiting on to show up as justice. It could be something that has to do with money, time, effort, or energy. The Seven of Pentacles is about waiting, but it is also about throwing your seeds in another direction, so another intention. So it feels like you're going to be getting some sort of an answer. Someone does the right thing. Something comes into harmonious balance. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Tell me about this sorrow over loss. Tell me about sorrow over loss. It could have been a passionate connection or a passionate thing. Doesn't have to be a person. Can be a situation, something, maybe you loved your job, maybe you loved a situation and you're no longer in that situation. We have the Star. We have the Knight of Wands. And we have the Knight of Cups. I feel like we're talking about a relationship or something that was not necessarily supposed to stay forever, is what it feels like. The Knight of Wands doesn't give a whole lot of stability. This person is really very hot, very sexy and attractive, but doesn't give much stability. This is the person who's not interested in the heart space, not interested in settling down, but I do feel that you got really deep into it with your heart space with the Knight of Cups. I think that you felt it was a romantic connection. They felt it was a fiery connection. The Star is here. I feel like you're healing from something that didn't go on the way you thought it would back there. I feel like it was hard to let go of this, that there was probably an energetic connection that it was so hard for you to let go of. And that happens, Capricorn, right? When you don't pick the right one and you get your energy involved with the energy of someone who is very temporary or is not interested in your heart space. Sometimes we get so connected to their energy that it's hard to let go. And so I feel like you are still healing from this with the Star energy, but I also feel like the Star energy is what propels you forward here. This particular Queen of Wands depiction makes me feel like she's just on her way to the next thing, because it almost looks like there's wind in her face, you know? It makes me feel like she's on the way to the next thing. This is feminine or masculine energy. Even though we've got a Queen of Wands who is feminine leaning, there's also masculine energy here, so it could be anyone. Tell me about the Page of Wands. It feels like there's a brand new spark or exciting thing, a brand new path that is showing up here. The Ten of Pentacles. So this is the long-term thing. This is not the short-term thing. This is not just the hot toddy here. This is not just that. This is something that is going to last the test of time. We've got the Three of Swords here, and we have the King of Swords. It feels like when this spark shows up, I'm going to say that you're still probably in this place of heartbreak. I do feel like you are letting it go, that you're still open to a long-term thing, but please, please, just allow yourself some healing time and quit being in a hurry. I'm going to say let the spark brew. Let the spark, ignite the fire. Just let it do it on its own instead of chasing it. I feel like the King of Swords tells me that I think that you're trying to be really honest with yourself about what you want in terms of a long-term person. I think what you've come up with, Capricorn, is that you want someone who's honest with you, who's not going to lie, someone who's truthful even if it hurts. Because look, the King of Swords, King of Swords can be honest to a fault, like to a point where it feels like you've been stuck with a dagger. The Three of Swords tells me that even if it hurts, I want the truth. So I feel like you are ready and willing to begin something new. A spark of something is going to show up likely midweek or sometime in the week next week. And it feels like it is something that you feel might be more suited to you. So a little more grounded, a little more slow, a little more moving a little more dependably, I would say. This person's a little more dependable. This person is someone who's going to answer your texts and is not going to run and hide. The Knight of Wands, although being brave and sexy and hot and all that kind of stuff, is a person who's going to ghost you, or the person who's going to leave you on red, or, that person doesn't really care about your feelings. And so I feel like you are about to meet somebody who's very honest and stable and grounded and truthful. But I think that you're still suffering from a broken heart when you meet this person. So please just let it be what it's going to be. This feels like a wish is granted. You do meet this person, but it doesn't mean that you're just jumping into a relationship. This could take years to form itself because the Ten of Pentacles is here, right? We've got a stubborn, aggressive person who is... It feels like somebody's trying to push you into a new beginning, so be aware of that. It feels like they're stubborn and aggressive, but the ram is going to put its head down and is going to push into whatever it wants, right? this is Aries energy for me, and it's like Aries is always going to get what they want. The Fool is Aries energy for me as well. And so it feels like somebody's trying to push you into taking a leap that maybe you're not ready for. And it could be anything. It doesn't have to be romantic related. It could be work, money, anything. We've got the 8 of Cups. We've got the Devil in the reverse. We've got the 5 of Wands. Okay, so I really do feel that you are meeting someone new on the heels of being disappointed or heartbroken by somebody else who I feel was a game player. They were likely just not giving you a whole lot of stability. And I think that you knew it. I think that you fell for it anyway, because I have never ever once heard anybody who's ever gotten into a situationship who didn't think they could make that other person stay. So I feel like you thought by opening your heart, Knight of Cups, and showing them your romantic side, it would make them stay, but I don't think that they did. I feel like when this new connection shows up for you here, Capricorn, that this person is somebody who is really hardcore pursuing you, but I feel like you're not ready. I feel like you're still in the middle of trying to release something from the past. So you're arguing with yourself, the 5 of Wands being here. You're arguing with yourself about whether you should or whether you shouldn't, because the 8 of Cups is here. And although you've detached emotionally, I feel like you're still trying to, I think that you're still trying to release the connection with this person. I think it's the energetic part of the connection, the attachment, if you will. It feels like you're sort of in this place, the 5 of Wands, of, I don't know, should I try and go back to that other person, or should I move forward to the new person? It feels like you're stuck with trying to make a decision now. The thing is that I'm just looking at all of this, right? And so I put this down first, time to go out and have fun. And we've got, do not be tempted to lower your standards. And I'm not saying that you would be lowering your standards with the Ram, but please understand that it says here you have too much concern with sexual matters. What is this? We've got the Peacock. It says beware of great pride. And then it says great worry for nothing. So look, I feel like you're supposed to go slow. I feel like somebody is peacocking around you, if you know what I mean. When the peacock spreads its fan, because it wants attention. And so it feels like with this Fool energy in the Ram that somebody's really aggressively pursuing you. But I don't think you have even let go of whatever hurt you before. And to drag whatever has hurt you before into the new thing, you can just pretty much guarantee a crash and burn, because it's really just somebody that you're, what is the word? It's really just a rebound at that point. You're just looking to heal your heart. So this is your advice. I feel like it's this, be careful what you do. Go out and have some fun, but be careful not to lower your standards, because there is going to be someone who is sexually pursuing you, it looks like. We've got Justice and the 7 Pentacles. I feel like you are going to hold back from this. I feel like you're going to let this person do whatever pursuing they think they need to do. But I feel like you have decided that you need something more harmonious, and something more on the level, something that's more balanced. And I feel like you're going to hold back, or the 7 of Pentacles is about waiting. Maybe you're going to wait and see. What is this? We've got the 8 of Pentacles, we've got the 2 of Pentacles, and we've got the Ace of Cups. So you're waiting for the real thing. You're waiting for someone to show up and just give you the overflowing cup. You're not into being pushed into it. You're not into it. With the 5 of Wands, it also makes me feel like, too, is that this person who is the Ram energy, that this person is somebody who has a lot of people on the DMs, or maybe there's a lot of competition for them. So maybe your ego loves that they are pursuing you. But just remember what happened back here, because the Knight of Wands will also pursue in this manner. So just be careful with that. We've got the 8 of Pentacles. This could be a person from the workplace, which adds another layer of uh-oh, right? I feel like maybe it could be a person from the workplace, or someone who's really doing their best to work on you and get you to make a decision to be with them. I feel like you're waiting until they show up with the Ace of Cups as to whether you say yes or no. I think you're going to hold back and wait, which I think is super duper smart. Tell me about the time to go and have fun. We've got the Ten of Cups. We've got the King of Wands. So look, I feel like we're talking about maybe a Libra or the King of Wands, who is Aries. And if this Aries is a King of Wands, this is someone who's grown up from the night. It could be the same person coming back around again, I'm just saying. But it does feel like it is somebody who knows how to hold back their passions. They're somebody who's far more in balance. They are someone who's far more healed. They are someone who already is happy. They might already have a family, like children. But it feels like this person has a lot of wisdom, and they could be a little bit older than you. It does feel like this person is, yeah, I would say wisdom, temperance, balance. They might have family, so they might be a family person, man or a woman, right? Feminine or masculine energy. They are somebody who already has a family, who's already got children, possibly. Yeah, we're going to go into the extended. We're going to talk about this a little bit more. We're going to clarify all of this and get more details for you. If you're interested in coming into the extended with us, Capricorn, please look at the top of the comments. At the very top of the comments, the first comment is a pinned one, and there you will find your way to the membership area if you're interested in more than one extended. If you're interested in only this extended, there also is a link in that pinned comment where you can purchase just this this particular extended. And if you're interested in a private read, if you're interested in a private read with your own energy, because general readings are not for everybody, whether you think they may be or not. If you'd like to come to the Hypsee side, if you want to click on the link to Hypsee, it'll give you all of my pricing, and whether you are interested in a live read or a pre-recorded read, you can take your pick. Look at my schedule. You'll just get a discount just for booking in advance. I'm going to put down 3 cards, and then we're going to go into the extended. We've got the Two of Wands. We've got the Strength card, and we've got the Page of Cups. So it does feel like you are holding back just a little bit from this new connection. And it feels as though, I feel like the Strength card is telling me you've learned your lesson not to go fast, but to go slow and to hold back just a little bit. I feel like you're at the Two of Wands here, at the crossroads of your life, wondering whether you even want to entertain this again. We've got the Two of Swords. It's going to be a very important decision for you because it's going to set the tone for the future. The Three of Wands is here. The King of Swords, or sorry, the Knight of Swords is in the reverse, and the Ace of Pentacles. So I feel like we haven't even really talked about what it means. Like, are we just doing the one night thing? Are we doing the hit it and quit it thing? Is this someone for the long term? I think that when you meet this person, it feels like they are looking for someone long term, and that maybe they're still dealing with a broken heart as well. But it feels like you're going to be making a decision that's going to be lasting into the future. So it's a careful decision. Let's clarify this. We'll go into the extended if you'd like to be there. You know how to find us. And if this is where we part, that's cool, because I'll be back, because I'm always back. Take care, Capricorn. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.